And I was like, oh, mind blown. And there's so many more specifications you can make to your coffee. I just totally blank out and freeze for like 2 seconds. I'll just be like, Auntie, well, take a coffee. And people started messaging me and be like, it's the gangster town of Singapore, take care, be careful, etc. And then I looked around and I saw a lot more people who dress the same way, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Singapore. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I've been doing a lot of casual vlogs lately, but this video is going to be slightly different because I just want to share with you guys some interesting things about Singapore that I came to realize after I moved here. I decided to make this video because I was talking to my Singaporean friends the other day. They asked me if I experienced any difficulties adjusting to a new environment, and I was like, overall I feel pretty good about how I'm doing with this new chapter of my life. But even though I grew up in Asia and I always had several Singaporean friends as part of my friend circle when I go to different places, there are still certain things people in Singapore do that really surprise me. I won't be talking about things like Singapore is so safe, there's a lot of great food in Singapore, because pretty much everyone knows it, right? So I kind of just want to share some random little observations in Singapore that caught me off guard. Number 1, hawker center is life. Before I moved here, I did some research about Singapore, and many people mentioned that hawker centers are so great because there are a lot of food options you can try out, but I still underestimated how essential it is until I actually moved here. Previously, my conception of hawker centers were closer to night markets in Taiwan. We were getting to try a lot of street food, so like barbecue, snacks, and drinks. But then I came here and I realized, why would my stupid ass think that way? You can literally get everything at a hawker center. There are so many cuisines and food variations you can choose from, and it's so freaking cheap. So if I spend too much money during the weekend, in the following week I'll just go to hawker and dabao cai fan every day lah, which is usually like $3 to $5 depending on what you get and where you get it. And if I'm craving something a little fancier, I'll just get bak kut teh or carrot cake as a side dish. The black one for sure. I think I'm really lucky because even though having a hawker center nearby wasn't part of my consideration when I was looking for an apartment, I ended up staying at a place with a few hawker centers around me. But for some friends of mine, their apartment is kind of like the middle of nowhere. So when it comes to food, they have to either take a bus to get to the closest hawker center or just order from Grab, which costs so much more money. Number 2, people do know how to dress casual. I still remember my first day in Singapore. I had to go to 7-Eleven to get a temporary SIM card, and you know, it was my first day in Singapore, so I was kind of like, I'm gonna dress up. So I was wearing a shirt with some artsy design on it. I took my sunglasses out and I put on some cute socks. And then the moment I stepped out of my hotel, the first person I saw was wearing a singlet, sports shorts, and flip-flops. So I was like, part of your outfit was telling me that you could be on your way to the gym, but your flip-flops were telling me that you are going to the beach, or are just trying to flex your muscles because you're wearing a singlet, you know? And then I looked around and I saw a lot more people who dress the same way, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Singapore. Because I'm kind of lazy and I just hate dressing up. But back home, even though I wanted to go out in just a tank top and gym shorts because it feels really comfy, most of the people around me would still dress up kind of nicely, and my friends would be judging me like, this is not your bedroom, you should wear something less casual. But I think here in Singapore, because the weather is super duper hot, and if you're not going to work, you can just definitely go for a more laid-back vibe in terms of clothing, and no one is going to judge you for that, which is something I really appreciate. Number 3, the Chope Culture. To be honest with you, I didn't know this is an actual word before I moved to Singapore. But basically, Chope means to reserve a seat in a place to eat such a hawker center, sometimes by placing a packet of tissue paper on it. I wasn't surprised by the fact that people would claim a seat in advance at a restaurant by putting their personal items on it, because that's what people do back home as well. What surprised me is the personal item they use to chope. Elsewhere, if I want to claim a seat, I'll usually put things like an umbrella or a book. The idea of placing a packet of tissue paper just never came to my mind because I'll be worried that what if people just think it's just trash and throw it away? Which means that first, I'll lose my tissue paper, and second, I'll lose my seat. But here in Singapore, I think since Chope is such a thing, people would normally consider a packet of tissue paper as a legit sign of table reservation. I know there are some people who are totally against this behavior and will just like throw the thing away, but that's a different story. And also, last time I went to hawker center with my friends, none of us had tissue paper, so one of them just put a wallet on the table and she left to queue up. That was really surprising to me because I'm afraid, like, what if someone just steals her wallet and goes? And she looked at me and was like, why would someone risk going to the jail only for like $20 in her wallet? And I was like, oh, mind blown. But also I was grateful for the fact that we were able to enjoy such safety and peace of mind here in Singapore. Number 4. Some places have really funny connotations. So several weeks ago, I was kind of tired of cities, so I decided to venture out of my comfort zone and visited some random places on the map. and I went to Yishun for no reason. But the trip was pretty nice. We kind of just walked around the Yishun pond and we ate chicken rice at the hawker center. Nothing unusual happened, okay? Until I posted a story on my Instagram. And people started messaging me and be like, it's the gangster town of Singapore, take care, be careful, etc. And I was so confused. And the next day I went back to office to work, and during lunchtime I kind of just told my colleagues that I went to Yishun during the weekend. And the first reaction I got was, why? So they told me all the stereotypes around Yishun because I think back in the day there were some weird uncles and cat abusers in the area, so the place just got associated with this negative incidents and shaped certain opinions in people's minds. It's kind of similar to when you tell people you're going to Geylang even though when you're just going there for food, some people may just crack the joke and be like, huh, are you going there for fun, huh? Which is also a stereotypical conception of the place given its history. But I think one thing to note here is that those places have also gone through a lot of changes, and the way they're being presented in media may be exaggerated or even misleading to some extent. So, just take it with a grain of salt and don't let those preconceived ideas prevent you from exploring so many amazing places here in Singapore. Number 5, coffee is not just coffee. Can we just talk about how interesting it is to order coffee here in Singapore? Of course, I'm not talking about a case where you go to a super bougie cafe and order an iced matcha latte and stuff. I'm talking about those coffee/beverage stalls at a hawker center. First of all, you don't say coffee, it's kopi. And the most basic variations will be kopi, kopio, kopisi, which basically specified milk or without milk. And if you want milk, there could be evaporated milk or condensed milk. In addition, there's kosong, which means no sugar, and siuda, which means less sugar. And there's so many more specifications you can make to your coffee, okay? So every time I want to get coffee, I literally have to use Google and pull up a coffee guide. But every single time I'm about to give my order to the uncle or auntie, I just totally blank out and freeze for like 2 seconds because I don't remember anything. To save myself from the awkward silence, I'll just be like, auntie, well, take a coffee. And the auntie will be like, okay, he's a foreigner, he doesn't know how to order coffee, I'm just gonna give him the most basic default version, which I'm totally fine with. But all my Singaporean friends will be like, it's okay, I understand your struggles, but you'll get more familiar with it the longer you stay in Singapore. And then I'll just go back to Google and study the coffee guide all over again. Okay, so these are the 5 surprising things I discovered after I moved to Singapore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and in the comment section below, do let me know if there's anything else that surprised or shocked you after you moved here to Singapore, because I think that's something really fun to hear about. And per usual, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!